Viewer discretion is advised. If you are at all offended by the word tactical, or if any of that makes you physically ill, you do not want to watch this video because you are about to enter the most tactically tactical thing ever. Okay, so I just want to get that out of the way. I know a lot of people, it's cringy to have skulls and tactical stuff, and a lot of people complain about it. So I just want to get that out of the way, but hopefully underneath all that tactical goodness is something very, very cool here. That's the hope anyways. This is a brand new knife from ADV Tactical, made by Backup Tactical, but it is their first OTF. So those that don't know, here's the Backup Tactical sticker here. I guess these guys are out of Florida, I believe, and they make a lot of, or historically, they've made a lot of suppressors and pew-pew accoutrements, different accessories and things. And apparently, they made a knife, and not just any knife. They made a knife called the Stinger for Andre de Villiers, ADV Tactical. Oh, here it is right here, just right out front. First impression, I do like the color. Some of the pictures kind of blew the color out a little bit and made it look a little too baby pukey colored. But it looks pretty good in person. Reminds me a lot of like Microtech's kind of OD green that they do. So this is made by Backup Tactical right here, but it's designed by ADV Tactical, which is Andre de Villiers, who's a South African knife designer. He's been around for a long time. Like he's produced stuff for quite a while. He's kind of been on the fringes a little bit. I mean, if you want to call it fringes, like he hasn't been the most mainstream maker ever. But this is his first OTF he designed. You can see we've got a skull with a crosshair, ADV, SOB, Badness, Tactical. I don't even know what Badness Tactical is. But we had to throw the word tactical on here one more time. Let's see, is this, it's not magnetic, so I'm thinking that this is titanium. Nowhere did I see it actually, and by the way, I know you're mad that I haven't fired this yet. I'm doing it on purpose because I want to rustle some jimmies. I got to build up some tension somehow, right? So we're going to talk about the outside. Just kidding, let's open it. There she is. I went with the double edge, fully serrated, two-toned bead blast. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to get, so that's pretty cool. Now let's check the blade play. Okay. Nope. All right. I've heard some people say that the blade play is almost non-existent, that it's like the least blade play that they've felt on any OTF other than like a deadlock. It's good. It's minimal, right? It's minimal. However, I have felt less blade play on a normal knife. Actually, the EDC EMP Pulse is probably the OTF that has the least amount of blade play I've ever felt outside of a knife that had a specific wedging or locking system, right? So outside of a knife that had an extra mechanism to prevent it from having blade play, that one had the least amount. This is a pretty close second though. It's very, very good. It's very, very good. Yes. So let's do a size. Let's do a size on here. I'll do some comparisons on this thing. In my previous video, I mentioned how I'm not going to be able to do as much content, or at least new content. So I'm probably going to compare this to like 3 other knives because why not? 3.5 inches, a little over 3.5 inches. I think it's 3.6 officially. Overall length, you're looking at about 9, just over 9 inches with that glass breaker. Good all around, medium-sized knife. Really good sound. Really good, especially the withdrawal. It's got a really thunky, kind of reminds me a little bit of the deadlock, sound-wise. Let's do a weight here real quick. 4.8 ounces, that's fine. It's got ADV, their little roller lock thing here, which is pretty cool. Obviously, I haven't put this in my pocket. You watched me open it up, but I have had a pocket clip on some of their other knives, ADV's knives, and it works very, very well. Really cool idea. This is one of those ideas where you're like, why has nobody thought of this sooner? Putting a roller on the pocket clip. It's kind of similar in a way to the beg ball, but it actually has a moving roller clip, which is kind of cool right there. Got the glass breaker. Let's, I assume it's steel. It's not, or at least it's not ferrous. That's interesting. Is that titanium or aluminum? Interesting. Okay. I mean, it looks a bit on the lighter side. Could that be aluminum? Could this be aluminum? That wouldn't be ideal, I wouldn't think. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe it could work. I'm not quite sure. I know how I could test it. I don't want to. I've got a chemical that'll react to aluminum, and I could put it on there, and if it turns black, it's aluminum. But then I've got a black pocket clip. Let's take a look at the button. That one for sure is going to be aluminum. You can see how it's a little bit lighter than this pocket clip. But it seems, I don't know. We've got a lot of different colors going on here. It's almost like light, no, kind of light, or gray, lighter, lightest. So I don't know. I don't know what materials we're looking at. There is no, at least as far as I could see, I took out the foam in the case. No information on it. They did say it's 6061 aluminum chassis like normal. 6-screw construction right here. The button has no play. It's nice and solid. The steel is S35VN right there. Like I said, pretty pleasant surprise to see the two-tone finish on there. So you got the satin flats. Then it's got a bead blasted primary bevel here. Very, very cool with the full serrations. Really nice. I mean, honestly, it's a little shocking from a mechanical standpoint, design standpoint, to have this kind of come out of nowhere like this. It's very, very interesting because there was no information leading up to this. Backup Tactical, ADV, all of a sudden, like 2 weeks ago, they're like, oh, hey, we made this knife. And Backup Tactical's like, we've got these knives. You want to buy one? And then they went on sale. So kind of interesting. They had 4 different configurations in different colors, so not a ton of options. They had a copper anodization. They had this green anodization. They had 2 in black, and then some two-tone blades. This is the only one that had a steel-colored blade. All the other ones had two-toned black blade with various forms of serrations or plain edge. They had a really cool tanto that had serrations up on the top as well as partial on the bottom and then kind of sharpened. That one was pretty cool. But yeah, pretty interesting. Button is pretty standard and decent. Action is good. It's not difficult to deploy. Very, very smooth. Obviously I'm gonna have to take this thing apart to look inside. I don't think there's anything surprising in here. I'm sure it uses your standard double gate OTF system, but it feels very well machined because I mean the way it fires is ultra smooth, and it has that kind of that hit at the end, like it flies open and it just clunks open. No misfires yet. Brand new OTF, you know, sometimes that happens. Certain surfaces have to kind of break in a little bit. No misfires. I really like this. I like the look of this. I could do without this for sure. It would have been cool if they did something other than your standard Microtech old school style glass breaker. It would have been nice to see them do something different here. I kind of feel like they just phoned in the glass breaker. But I really like what they've done here, and I like how wide the blade is compared to the handle. It's not a super skinny blade. You can see how thick that blade stock is too. I think that's part of the reason it's hitting so hard. Really thick stock. Can't tell as much because it's double edge, but you can see down here how thick that stock is. Standard, okay, that's all standard. Very cool, I like it. I'm gonna throw it in my pocket. I am going to use it, carry it around. See, I can even retract it with my index finger. Very easy action. But it doesn't have a super long travel either. So they've really dialed in that spring tension to make this thing run very, very well. You know, and this skull thing. So even though I was poking fun at tactical and skull stuff, I like skulls. I do. I like it. I remember back in the day when skulls and the word tactical wasn't kind of corny. I mean, it used to just be cool. Yeah, because it used to be a new thing that you didn't see in knives. And I'm always of the school, if you're going to do something like that, go all the way. And you can't really go much further than a skull and crosshairs with SOB and badness written on it. So if you're going to do it all the way. But I got to say, so far, I like it. I'm impressed. I think it's great. All right, comment down below what you think of the Stinger from Backup Tactical / ADV Tactical. I want to know. Talk to you guys later. Oh, hey, whoa, stop, come back. You guys want to know the price. This comes in just under $400. So USA made. I mean, that's what it's claiming. USA made in Florida by Backup Tactical. $400, fair price point. You know, obviously people are going to say, you know, it's ridiculous, whatever. But I'm just market rate for a USA made OTF of this size, this material, this quality. I think that's a great entry price for this. Really, really good. Because you're looking at this or an Ultratech, and this is much larger. And honestly, this feels better. This feels higher quality. The action on this thing is stupendous. It fires really, really hard, feels really, really good. Very nominal blade play. Yeah, very cool, very impressive. All right, guys, I'm out. See you.